Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Costello, for 4 minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Dorsey, in your testimony, you identified a handful of behavioral signals, but you noted Twitter uses thousands of behavioral signals in your behavioral-based ranking models. Could you provide the committee with a complete accounting of all of these signals?
A lot of those signals are changing constantly, so even if we present one today, it might change within a week or within a month. The point is that it's not 1,000 behavioral signals, it's 1,000 decision-making criteria and signals that the algorithms use. And I don't mean exactly 1,000, it could be hundreds, it could be thousands. They all vary to actually make decisions.
Would you consider providing a more expansive list of signals beyond the small handful that you have provided, specifically those that seem to endure and that don't change week to week?
We're looking at ways to open up how our algorithms work and what criteria they use to make decisions. We don't have conclusions just yet, and the reason why we're pausing a little bit here and considering is because by giving up certain criteria, we may be enabling more gaming of the system and taking advantage of the system so that people can bypass our protections.
You used the term a little earlier, curators. Is that a term, is that a position within your company, or did you just kind of, could you share, what's a curator at your company do?
Yeah, we have a product within Twitter called Moments. And what it is if you go to the search icon, you can see a collection of tweets that are actually arranged by humans, organized around a particular event or a topic. So it might be a sporting game, for example. And we have curators who are looking for all the tweets that would be relevant. And one of the things that they want to ensure is that we're seeing a bunch of different perspectives.
Relevant based on my behavior, and do I have to manually do that, or is that going to show up in my feed?
We do that work, and then sometimes you may get a moment that is more personalized to you based on your behavior. In some cases, all people get the same moment.
Would that be subject to, and listen, I know the bias issue, but would that would open up consideration for there to be more bias in any way? Bias can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't even have to be political. So your curators are making some sort of subjective determination on what might be of interest, what might pop more, what might get more retweets, comments, et cetera?
They use a data-driven approach based on the percentage of conversation that people are seeing. So we're trying to reflect how much this is being talked about on the network first and foremost, and then checking it against impartiality and also making sure that we are increasing the variety of perspective.
I appreciated your testimony, your written testimony. You said something in there that interests me, and that a lot of things, but one was you have no incentive to remove people from your platform. In other words, you have no incentive to remove conservatives from your platform because the more people talking, the better. But it strikes me that when we're talking about hate speech or personal insults or things that are just straight up mean, there's kind of there's an incentive not to remove that stuff if it's driving more participation. How do you reconcile that?
It's an excellent question, and something that we have balanced in terms of, number one, our singular objective is to increase the health of this public square and this public space. And we realize that in the short term, that will mean removing accounts. And we do believe that increasing the health of the public conversation on Twitter is a growth vector for us, but only in the long term. And we, over the past few months, we've taken a lot of actions to remove accounts en masse. We reported this during our past earnings call, the reaction was what it was. But we did that because we believe that over the long term, these are the right moves so that we can continue to serve a healthy public.
Gentleman's time.
Yep. Thank you. I yield back.
Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Mullen.